Can you take me back where I came from? Can you take me back? Can you take me back where I came from? Brother, can you take me back?
Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear.
Let's go back, 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 back.
I have a song to sing, oh,
sing me your song, oh.
It is sung to the moon by a lovelorn moon who fled from the mocking throng. Oh, it's the song of a merry man moping mum, whose soul was sad and whose glance was glum, who sipped no sup and who craved no crumb as he sighed for the love of a lady. Lady, Heidi, misery me, lack-a-lady. He sipped no sup and he craved no crumb as he sighed for the love of a lady.
I have a song to sing, oh.
What is your song, oh?
It is sung with the ring of the songs made sing, who love with a love lifelong. Oh, it's a song of a merry maid, really proud, who loved alone and who laughed aloud at the moan of the merry man moping mum, whose soul was sad and whose glance was glum, who sipped no sup and who craved no crumb as he sighed for the love of a lady. Lady, lady, misery me, lack-a-lady. He sipped no sup and he craved no crumb as he sighed for the love of a lady.
I have a song to sing, oh.
Sing me your song, oh.
It is sung to the knell of a churchyard bell and a doleful dirge ding-dong. Oh, it's a song of a popinjay bravely born, who turned up his noble nose with scorn at the humble merry maid really proud, who loved a lord and who laughed aloud at the moan of a merry man moping mum, whose soul was sad and whose glance was glum, who sipped no sup and who craved no crumb as he sighed for the love of a maid. Heidi, Heidi, misery me, lack-a-lady. He sipped no sup and he craved no crumb as he sighed for the love of a maid.
I have a song to sing, oh.
Sing me your song, oh.
It is sung with a sigh and a tear in the eye, for it tells of a right and a wrong. Oh, it's a song of a merry maid once so gay, who turned on a heel and tripped away from the peak of popinjay bravely born, who turned up his noble nose with scorn at the humble heart that he did not prize. So she begged on her knees with downcast eyes for the love of the merry man moping mum, whose soul was sad and whose glance was glum, who sipped no sup and who craved no crumb as he sighed for the love of a lady.
Great-grandfather came here and he taught music at what is now that in St. James Parish is that retreat house, which was at that time, do you remember the name of that? That's right, that's right. And prior to that, it was called some sort of college. I forgot what the name of the college was, and that's where he came to. That's how we got here. That's how we got here from France.
And he came there to teach music.
Huh?
He came there to teach music?
Yes.
Who came over in the 1830s to teach music at Jefferson College. And I had been going to Manresa, a retreat house down in Convent, for a couple of years before it occurred to me that this was Jefferson College, and that I was staying in a place where the first guy with our name had come over, and it was very meaningful and moving.
Great-great-grandfather.
And so I wrote this poem. It's called Ancestor Poem Manresa for Jean-Marie deGravelles, 1835 to 1864. I recommend this way to watch the sunset. Turn away, then back for a fresh stab of flame. The wound will spread its wings like a fever. When I looked up, she'd taken off her dress. I closed my eyes, breathless and aching, then opened them. Miracle, she, closer, smiling, I entered another life. Blood, burning river, changes landscape. Storm released to the high gorges, mesas rage, falling in great feathery fingers, swept winding through canyons, widening into subtler land, softening, eroding what it rides. Same blood through generations of valleys and hearts, prompting new voices and unexpected angles to twist up the same old scale, plaiting sons and daughters like vines along its bank, a family's song, dropping its petals like so many burning suns into the great, flat, deep, and unchanging river of blood. I've watched my own children die their 1,000 little deaths, I my 2,000, sunsets, eye blinks, turnings and returnings. How many, Jean-Marie, since you stepped off boat, young man in a new world, upriver from New Orleans, to teach music at Jefferson College. Your blood sparkled like a fuse through Vivaldi and Haydn and Bach, in whom your passion wasn't quenched but transformed, in whom your boyhood God grew up. Through student after student, till you met the beautiful you took to wife, your Catherine. How many since you lay down for the last time? 29, horse-kicked and laboring to breathe. Wife still young and already a half-dozen children praying round your bed. Violin cased now in crushed velvet, sacred and silent in its coffin. We followed like leaves, like hands from the same deck of cards, some of whom I knew, played by you and I still playing. The first song I learned on the piano was Louise, and I hammered it out 1,000 times. My boy now hammers late into the night, some riff that speaks to him over and over. My father plays, his father played, on back to you and I presume beyond. Some of the old instruments still survive, a violin framed on dining room wall, attic, tuba, bass, harp, flute, a broken drum. Each a turn at the instrument, in the body, soul burrowed deep like fingers into a laundered glove, flexing, feeling strong in it. I'm walking the levee at Manresa while the sun nods. Where you came to live and teach is now a Jesuit retreat house to which I return each year to recite the Lord's passion, death, and resurrection. Say with fingers, lips, and heart the rosary, walking slowly across the lawn under the old oaks with men I don't know but know. We eat and drink at his table. We sing, untrained, upturned voices dress him in praise. Otherwise, we keep a silence that makes it possible to hear you playing as the sun sinks into river, as sky darkens, and from a basket full, a pouring of stars.
Well, actually, my father was a doctor, and we lived in Morgan City at that time. That was before my mother died. And there were not as many people in the medical corps during the First World War as there was in the Second. And so my father had been tapped as a sort of in Morgan City at that time, there was a lot of shipbuilding because it was a big lumber town, and a lot of ships were made out of timber and so forth. And so they had a company, a regular Army company stationed at Morgan City. And so my father was sort of a semi military in that he never was in uniform, but he was responsible for the taking care of those people as well as the other business that arose out of that war.
And you were telling me on the phone that your mother died when you were very young and you were raised by your uncle and aunt?
My aunt and uncle, yes.
And what were they?
That was in Thibodeau.
In Thibodeau. And who were they?
Well, his name was, we called it Roe down there. I don't know why they called it. His name was Roth, R-O-T-H. And I don't know why they put a French twist on it, but they do everything on bar la fouche. And so I guess I was raised by them.
And Roth, your uncle, was a deGravelles?
No, Roth was he was my aunt's husband. He was no blood relation of mine, but he was a great guy.